I realized at a very young age that I am influential when I speak. A lot of people just want to listen to me no matter what I'm saying.
Like I told you in the presentation room, the viewers at home and the viewers out there don't care whether you've argued with your mother or you've argued with your girlfriend or you're not feeling well. They expect nothing but the level best of you.
I'm a risk taker. I love challenges and I love to expose myself to new experiences because I feel that there is more to me than meets the eye.
Pezzo, unfortunately you have to follow Justin.
Top 16 is how far we've made it in the competition. Suffice to say, it's been heated. 4 have gone, more are to follow. It's expected, because this is the toughest Diamond TV presenter search ever. There is absolutely no time for games. Okay, except for today. We decided to challenge the contestants to a friendly game of charades. 2 teams, 1 mission. Guess the word.
Digging, farming,
Shovel?
axing, cutting a tree.
Rainbow?
Scolding metal. Blacksmith. A tailor.
Grave digger.
A tailor.
Pass.
Carpenter.
I guess.
This one pass, I think.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, there we go.
Selfie.
Selfies.
DJ. CPR.
CPR.
Explosion. Surprise.
A bomb!
No, it wasn't correct.
Yes. So now time is already moved.
Bowling.
Hanging a jacket. Mirror. Hanging a jacket. Window. Photo. It's a window. Taking a photo. Portrait.
We don't know what to do.
Window. Taking a photo. Texting. Which one was it? Time's up. Running. Jogging. Sprinting. Running. Panting and running.
Skip. Asking.
Sightseeing or something. The next one.
Just
I'm bad at this. Then what? High five. Yeah, it's correct. Okay. Hiding. Sneaking. Oh, okay. Great.
So for this challenge, the winning team is Team 1.
Now that the contestants have loosened up, it's time to get back to work.
Contestants, welcome back. Remember, that this is the Diamond TV Presenter Search Season 3, where we're looking for one of you out of the final top 20 that we started with to join the Diamond TV family. Last week, 2 of you had to be sent home. Reason being, we are not accepting any mediocrity, and we want you to bring your A game and take this as a high-stakes competition. I'm looking for your dedication, your discipline, your innovation, and your creativity. Congratulations for making it to the final 16, and I hope that many of you will be able to get through to the next round as we give you this week's challenge. Jonah?
Contestants, Diamond Media prides itself in giving the best digital content. We have various platforms on which we premiere new and fresh content for our consumer. Your task this week is to come up with a 5-minute social media show. This must be a high-rating, high-engagement social media show that will be evaluated based on its quality and creativity.
Thank you. So, like we always do in each week, we'll have experts and mentors that are going to talk to you on just how you are going to go about with your task. Like Jonah has said, more recently, Diamond TV remodeled its business position into Diamond Media. What this means is that we're focusing content distribution not only on the conventional TV, terrestrial and satellite platforms, but we realize that convergence of digital media empowers the consumer to watch and access content on the go, on the phone, on the iPad, on tablets. The more reason why this week we want you to create content specific to different platforms, be it YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram. Allow me welcoming Mutale Mwanza. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So Mutale is a very good friend of mine, but many of you know her to be a radio and TV host. But for this week's particular challenge, I have picked on my friend Mutale because, like I have mentioned, in a world where everything is pointing towards digital media and social media, you need to have somebody talk to you on the do's and don'ts and really what it takes to wear a crocodile or thick skin if your life as a presenter or a public personality is going to be centered around social media. Mutale has over 1 million followers right now.
We're getting there.
We're getting there on Facebook. She recently landed herself some good deal with Fenty.
Yes.
And Rihanna, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So she will be your guest mentor today. Ask all the questions, and thereafter, like Jonah has explained, we will expect that you produce a 5-minute creative story for any social media platform.
So Germany has been interesting, fun. It's been challenging, but all in all, I've learned quite a bit.
Nova. When I walk in, you sit up straight. You don't press your phone. That's extremely rude. You're here for a competition like everybody else. So what is expected of you is attention. You need to be attentive, right? When you identify yourself as a personality, it's much easier to navigate through your career. Why is it easy? Point number 2, authenticity. You are being real. You are being true to yourself. So you have your identity and you have the authenticity, meaning you don't have to try too hard to be somebody else. If we already know you as bubbly, you will never be anybody else. You will never be anything else. You will be as real as possible. On a good day, on a bad day, the bubbly will still come. And that's what we will know you as. You're just starting in your career. People are going to see you. They are going to talk about you. They will comment on your hair, your shoes, your nose, your forehead, your slippers, your dressing, your hips, your lack thereof hips. You are not going to take away my income by making me come on live discussing you, small-minded things. My complexion, my what. No. Don't let the public see you sweat. So as you're starting, you need to be hands-on. I mean, even when you become like really, really big, you still need to be hands-on. You may not be as handsy because you'll be doing a lot of other things, but the world has become so diverse, and you will find that you guys create employment for people. And that's the beauty about being a brand, because you create employment. It's not just the government that employs, it's you. You can have a PA, you have a social media manager, you have a makeup artist, you have a designer who does your clothes. So you are looking after people, you are feeding families. Just you. Me, when I move, it's security, designer, makeup, PA. I have a team of people around me. And just me, I am able to at least contribute to people's lives. And it's a good thing. Find a person to do your makeup. Even if you're a makeup artist yourself, school fee. Get a makeup artist, a security person when you're going for events. And then I'll leave it for school fee because I've trained money security. A designer, people who make our clothes. Get a local person to be making your clothes. Pay them and pay them their worth. Let them also be able to buy electricity and DStv for their parents at home. You see, when you become a brand, share, and by share, employ, delegate, have a team. Don't do things yourself. Also, celebrities don't do things themselves. Like, how are you doing things yourself? You're a celebrity. You're a celebrated person. Okay. Okay, I think I have overstayed. Lunch is gonna kill me. Okay, cool. But you can still answer or you can ask me the question.
Still to come on the Diamond TV presenter search.
I need to click somewhere. How do you give me a show that doesn't even have how to like you or how to follow you? How?
This week, the contestants are challenged on what Diamond Media currently holds dear to its operations. Not new to starting first is George, who in last week's challenge admitted to panicking on set and not handling his task well.
Alright, so my brand name, or the name of the show, is The Diamond Diaries. So the runtime for the assignment was 5 minutes, which the show will actually be. So what makes my brand relatable was actually part of the question, and the points, as you are able to see, dear judges, are the ones that are under brand relatability, and I'll be able to mention some of them.
Costa is impressed with the presentation, not so much the creativity that went into the show. Hope's poised performance amidst last week's challenge was impressive. Question is, what else can she bring to the table?
The name of my show is Social Revamp. And Social Revamp is said to catalyze people's attitudes towards social change, so to help people become socially responsible. My brand archetype is the caregiver, so I'm all about caring and helping. So my show will appeal to viewers' tendency towards devotion to family and safety. My buyer persona is 30-year-old Colin Spanda. He's married and lives in Lusaka with 2 kids. He's a producer who produces vernacular radio dramas. He's very passionate about seeing change in society and is frustrated by his inability to be able to reach as many people as he can.
Hope's show lacked a call to action.
The task was to come up with a social media show.
Yes, please.
But hardly in this video I've not heard you talk about liking a page or subscribing to the platform or following you, but this is a social media show.
Yeah, that was my fault.
That's the dumbest mistake.
Yeah, I did.
How do you bring me a social media show that doesn't explain the platform? It doesn't say how to follow, because the whole idea is if I need to watch you or follow you, I need to click somewhere. How do you give me a show that doesn't even have how to like you or how to follow you? How? Or where to subscribe?
Yeah, so I did do that in the last part, but I think it was with regards to editing. It was the first time I was using the application.
That's why I asked that we've moved forward to the end, because I didn't see that in the beginning. And really for me, there's nothing much I can say with the other things, because even in your intro, you started quite well with holding the phone and the selfie stick, showing me that this is social media content. But then in the interview, it just becomes so flat, like any boring, ordinary TV format show. And I wanted to see a social media format. But the biggest blunder you've made is that you cannot give us a social media show that has no mere mention and has no promotional aspect of how to follow or click to like the page. That is a serious error. We'll see you in the production room.
A very imperative aspect of a social media show. That may cost her. It is important, especially in this point of the competition, for contestants to ensure the deliveries are ones that will give a lasting impression on Costa. Chiambi picked the right show concept and delivered it well. Will she be safe? Since his return to the Diamonds TV presenter search, it's understood that Elisani would have to fully utilize this rare opportunity. Will he?
I think you would expect some creativity. I really put in a lot of work in this one. So I think that one really impressed me.
What is the show?
My show is titled Brains Behind the Famous. So we basically go behind the scenes and expose what really happens during production. Not only in the media industry, but also in a lot of various fields, let's say construction, and also mechanical innovation.
Marketing opportunities are vital, and that is what Elisani did not communicate and incorporate well in this task.
Elisani, when Jonah asked you what you have for us in this particular task, from your words you said you've put in a lot in this piece because we'll see a lot of creativity and innovation. Is that what you see in that? A sit down with somebody in a studio is creativity.
No, you might ask me.
And cutaways of equipment. That's your definition of creativity. Look, again, very disappointing because that's very basic. To say the least for me, that is just rubbish.
Zian has been best performer of the week once this season. Will she be able to do it again this week?
So, when I was going through YouTube, I was trying to research more about the artist I was talking about, just to find some other info. Maybe someone said something that was juicy. And I found myself continuously clicking on this guy. His name, a guy, a YouTube. And his presentation to me wasn't really appealing. But I continuously found myself clicking on it because of how he put like captions the videos. They would be like, oh, look what Makitu did to Fly Chick Shana. And I'll be like, ooh, let's see what he did. And oh, it's the same guy again. And so as I was looking at that, I was like, wait, this is what people go on YouTube to do. First of all, I looked at YouTube as a search engine. Because that's what people do usually. When they search, yeah, because people search on YouTube because they're trying to find information.
First presentation that Costa has given high praises to.
What saves you though, here is that I see that finally you've been given a task this week in an area where you're very comfortable in, and you love to do this kind of. I can see that this is where your passion, your comfort, and your strength is. Brilliant piece of work for me. This is the best that I've seen so far, and I'll be honest with you. When I heard that it's about 7 facts Z stars exposed, the title was a bit too long, and I was like, oh my God, here we go again with another gossip show just talking about celebrities and artists. I've had to tell him to stop, but I can go on watching this up to #1 because the things you bring out from 7 to until I watched are things. Because I've interviewed Makitu, I know that he wanted to be an accountant, but I didn't know certain things, for example, about his brother. So there's something fresh, there's something new that I'm learning, that I'm seeing, and I love that stuff about it. If you're telling me your backdrop was just linen, and that's where you see brand opportunities, there are glitches in the editing, but there's so much graphic and pictorial work that keeps me breaking the monotony. Brilliant work. Brilliant work this week.
Thank you.
I loved watching it as well. I have to say, your presentation, I was not even looking forward to seeing what you had put together because you did not do much research. and I'm guessing you didn't understand what you were supposed to do, but I have to urge you to really work on that because it's very important considering the fact that this is business. But this is well put together, and I think I agree that you've saved yourself. When I heard the 7 stars exposed,
stars exposed,
and then the first thing you said when you were about to say, I said it in my head, I said Makitu, and then I saw Makitu, and I just thought, oh my goodness. But then when you started bringing out those facts, I agree they're very interesting things to watch, and you added a lot of persona to it and a lot of personality. So good job.
I loved even the bell, the subscribe, the bell, bling. That was very good.
Will it be the only one today? Khotso got an A+ from Costa last week on how well she handled her messy guest on set. Will she get another pat on the back this week?
So my brand archetype was the creative, someone that is innovative, someone that is explorative, someone that loves to be a visionary and a leader. With regards to the show that I am presenting today, I decided to use a concept that is close to home. Having studied public health and earning a degree, I figured I'd need to enlighten the Zambian population to many little things that we usually neglect when it comes to our health.
Not the worst presentation Costa has seen today. That should be enough to get Khotso to feel good about her product.
So I was saying it would have been good to see those particular facets. Your presentation in terms of how you marry your brand archetype into your brand persona, the fact that you've chosen yourself in relation to how you understand the topic, for me, I think marries in quite well. Also, the marketing elements that you're talking about, content placement into this product through various ministries and organization, I think works out well for me. But what I love the most is the fact that the topic of choice is something different than what we're regularly seeing. And much could have been done, but I think it's work that is a bit better than some of the stuff that we've seen so far.
Coming from last week's performance, Musonda would have to keep up with her composure, because this is what has gotten her this far into the competition.
Zambia, like its people, is beautiful and full of life. With the development of our cities has come the opportunity to explore various places that accommodate our different customers' income levels. You must have guessed by now that my brand archetype is the explorer, with a customer base that is enthusiastic, authentic, and independent, which is exactly what the show embodies. Twende is a show that encourages adventure and promotes different streams of income through agriculture.
For a presentation, she had someone else execute her vision. How well would this go?
Is this a travelogue or a magazine format?
This is a travel log. So because she visits different places that are outside Lusaka and within Lusaka, and throughout the video you're able to see even local entertainment places that she goes to.
Well put together presentation. Is that all she needs to make it through this week? Opa and her co-host did a fairly decent job in the previous challenge by not allowing an unprofessional crew member distract them from their presentation. Can she keep up with the good work in this week's challenge?
Well, I'm here to pitch to you a program, Adventures Around Zambia, for Dampo Media's YouTube channel as well as Facebook page. The show is all about showcasing the best of Zambia. That is why I came up with the name Adventures Around Zambia.
Brilliant idea, but Costa feels it lacked a realism aspect to it.
I needed to see a timeline. You cannot just walk 4 steps without a timeline and then tell and again start telling us about how much you enjoy yourself. You're not tired, because hiking is all about being tired. So there was a lot of fakeness in that. I'm looking for something that is going to go quick on YouTube and show me the reality of what hiking is all about.
Opa can only hope that won't be enough to send her home. Justin took most of the heat in the last challenge. Suffice to say, the attention was shifted away from Mercy. This time around, however, she has more than enough lights on her.
So in terms of money, I asked a friend who knows a famous friend, and they told me that a celebrity is actually paid about 10,000 rand to have a promo code with a betting company. So in the case of my show, if we're having 10,000 rand coming in for the first ad and 10,000 rand kwacha, 10,000 kwacha at the end of the show, we can be making up to 20,000 kwacha for one show. And if we have a show once every week, which is like four times in a month, we can be making up to 80,000 kwacha, which is a good amount. So that's what we should.
Mercy may have not paid close attention to both her presentation and her show. This may cost her in the elimination. Cosmos describes himself as one who is not afraid to take risks. How far would that take him in this competition? Grace's reaction to her unruly guest was one thing that almost cost her last week. Fortunately for her, it was not the worst thing that cost her soul. This week, she will have to bring her A game.
I'll be giving a brief presentation on my show, the concept behind it, the marketing opportunities, as well as my buyer persona and my brand archetype.
Grace only missed the target by excluding an important aspect of how her product is profitable to Diamond Media. Other than that, her presentation, according to Costa, was good. Ntalasha has stuck to her strength in numbers throughout the competition. She did not find much trouble with last week's challenge. Will this week be the same? Ntalasha gave too much in her content for a social media show. That makes it a little bit hard for the audience to consume and follow along effortlessly. Is that enough reason for Costa to send her home this week? Rose managed to save both herself and her co-hosts in the previous challenge with how well she managed to control her reaction to the teleprompter switching off on set. What tricks does she have up her sleeves this week? Disappointed is what Costa is in Rose's production. Excellence is what the contestants should strive for every chance they get. Let's see how Nova will fare.
411 is not a major key search word. It's a word for information. Like most people would search like new tea. I found languages like new tea.
What's the 411? Is that a popular search thing?
Yes, it's basically like what's happening, but it's like a new catchphrase that most people like to use.
In her last task, she was faced with a very unusual challenge which left her and Shiambi in shock. How well will she deliver her presentation?
But honestly speaking, I wasn't expecting a TikTok show, and based on that, I think I'm on TikTok a lot, so I see how this could get a lot of views, and you've added a little bit of some wit to it, which is what people love seeing on TikTok.
Costa called out Innocent for reacting poorly on their set malfunction on live television. What has he got for Costa and Jonah this week? Innocent missed a couple of opportunities to make his show catchy and punchy. He can only hope that this won't cost him. After the break, elimination. After a very intense presentation room session, Costa is ready to make his decision. Who goes and who stays?
I think he really is looking for someone refined, and his persona is the same that I've maintained from the beginning of the show. He's a professional, he understands the business, and he knows that the qualities of the individual he's looking for.
Contestants, welcome back to the production room. Today, 2 of you will be leaving the competition. This week's challenge was for you to come up with a 5-minute social media show. This social media show was one that should drive revenue for Diamond Media. You had the opportunity to create a show for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Now, all of you have managed to execute this task, but the question is, how well did you do it? From our observation, there was a lot of glitches, but it is also true that there are some of you that were outstanding. From where I'm standing, there are some of you as contestants that need to pay a lot more attention to detail, that need to pay a lot more attention to the information that you give out. And I'm saying this because some of you did not research. Some of you came up with half-baked information, and this information you brought in to justify numbers that were not real. And that is part of the evaluation. Further, creativity is the hallmark of being a diamond. And some of you really performed badly with your creativity.
Thank you, Jonah. Contestants, this is week 6 of the competition. At this stage, I expect that most of you and all of you should know the ethos and the values of what we're looking for. I did make mention at the beginning of the very first time we met that I mean business, and I'm looking for that one person who is going to step into the Diamond TV family and walk the values and ethos of which I believe in personally and which espouse the Diamond TV dream. This show, like I said, is personal to me, and at this particular stage, I am looking for something that is far from mediocrity. If none of you are bringing excellence onto the table, then you do not deserve to be part of this competition, and you do not deserve to join the Diamond TV family. In this week's challenge, I see that most of you have priorities outside there, and if that is what you wish to be, then go outside there and don't be wasting our time and keeping your face in this competition. Moving forward, I am looking for people that are dedicated, people that are serious. What we saw in most of the presentations, that most of you felt you had another chance or were giving us half-baked content thinking you have another shot at this. We wanted to see a show that was ready to go onto any social platform. Most of you in the presentation room were telling us, oh, I believe that in the next show I'll be able to do this. So you gave us half-baked content, and that is not what I'm looking for. And I'm warning all of you, it's high time you stepped up your game, because things are just about to get more and more tougher. And you're about to see another side of me going forward in next week. This is not your cousin's kitchen or your cousin's production room. This is a business, and we want to see seriousness. Many of you this week, when I looked at your brand archetypes, said you were either explorers, surge, or basically the fun type of brand archetype that you created. So most of you created either an entertainment show or a travel show. And there was no uniqueness in that. Last week I spoke about putting the extra on ordinary. I'm looking for a gem, I'm looking for somebody unique. Very few of you came up with unique and brilliant ideas. Apart from travel, it was entertainment. Other than that, you had people who gave excuses and could not give us a good job enough to watch on any social media platform. I'm ready to eliminate. This week, 2 of you are leaving the show. Zian and George, kindly switch positions with Norma and Opa and step in front. This week, you two have been the most outstanding in your delivery. Zian, your presentation to us as judges was not the best in terms of how you composed your brand archetype, your buyer persona, and basically your marketing and sales opportunities. They were not the best that we could have seen. But your show, its creativity, its edit, its innovation is something that kept us watching from start to finish. There was creativity, and I described it as brilliance. That's what we're looking for as Diamond Media moving forward, and I want to keep seeing more of that in you, Zian. Well done. George, I love a person who pays attention to detail. You were innovative enough to come into the presentation room with a well-typed out outline of your program, the brand archetype, the buyer persona, right to detail. You were probably the only one in this group here who gave us realistic figures according to what the Diamond Media rate card talks about. You researched accurately, while others like Cosmos gave us fake figures. There is no YouTube page right now that is earning $50,000 in Zambia right now. None. And to lie that is what you are projecting, again I'll say, this is not fiction. It must be real to what we're doing here. So George, I loved your attention to detail, that you were able to hand the judges a presentation with everything nicely well laid out. Well done. And so the 2 of you this week, for being the top performers, will get from Taj Pamosi lunch or dinner, whichever you prefer, and a full spa as your reward. Well done. Give them a clap. Musonda, Mercy, Hope, could you kindly switch positions with the three people in front and step up? The bottom five this week are yourself, Hope, Musonda, Mercy, Noma, as well as Rose, the two who are not with us. In this week, which is week 6, we are making our decision on who to eliminate based on your performance from week 1. And so you need to be very careful that whatever you do in every week's challenge is actually putting a mark or removing a mark on how you proceed into the next round. We have to do this in very odd circumstances because 2 of you are not here and will not be able to physically plead before me. Hope, tell me why I should not be eliminating you today.
You should not eliminate me today because I have a lot to put out on the table. I am a quick learner and promise to follow instruction to the letter when next given an assignment.
What happened?
What happened, firstly, with not mentioning what the show was, I do have the clip where I did that. It's on the phone, but like I said, during the presentation, I had challenges with editing. So I kept going back and forth, so I decided, okay, let me put up what I can.
Is that an excuse when you're looking for a job that you come unprepared? Did you not preview the stuff?
I did, sir.
So why did you give us a clip then that didn't have what you were looking for?
It was going to go beyond the given time.
This is serious TV business. And that is why we have the processes of pre-production, production, and post-production. So that is unacceptable and not an excuse. Tell me something better as to why I should not be sending you home.
You should not be sending me home, sir, because I promised to pay attention to detail next time, like I said.
And those of you who tell me you're willing to learn, I'm not running a school or a kindergarten. This is an organization that runs on business to make profit. This is not an academy. Mercy, why should I not be sending you home?
So you did mention when you first watched my presentation that I am a natural presenter. And with a little bit of more pushing from myself, I can become the gem that you're looking for. And I do hold your words to heart, and I'm pushing myself as much as I can to be the best. And if you keep me on the show, I promise you I'm going to do much better, and I have a lot to offer to Diamond TV. Not only will you be empowering me, but also the young girls that look up to me back home, and you'll be giving them hope that they can also do and achieve great things.
Mercy, life is not fair. And life and opportunities and chances and the best of what comes with it is tilted, unfortunately, to those who are hungry and those who fight. Life is about aggression. You don't sound convincing to me right now that you really want this. What happened? You went and chose a topic which you literally know nothing about, which was football. You gave us a show that you didn't give energy, betting. You went and chose a buyer persona who was 16 years old, legally cannot even bet. You were quoting your prices in rands in Zambia where we use kwacha. What happened today?
So with the rand, I've had more interaction with it than I have with the kwacha. It's something that I'm still trying to get over. I did overlook a bit of the other information concerning the age, and I do note my mistakes. I wish I had done better.
Musonda, your presentation today, as much as we wanted to give you a bit of latitude towards the fact that you were not well when you were executing this assignment, your background sets the bar a bit higher. But even in your presentation to the judges, it sounds very memorized and very mechanical. Not impressive at all. Why should we keep you when you keep featuring in the bottom?
I think you should keep me right now because, one, I do not take any kind of, and I thank you very much for the latitude that you've been able to give me. I don't take any sickness as any excuse. I still brought something to the table that I believe that was worthy of you seeing, though I find that it fell below par. I am someone that is able to to not only put into use the things that I'm being taught in every stage, and I've got much to offer, and I show a lot of fortitude in everything that I'm doing. With regard to my presentation, I think that it may have sounded mechanical, but in the circumstance, I did the best that I could at that time, and I take no excuse and no exception for any condition that I came with. I just go and bring everything that I have to the table.
For Rose and Norma who are not here, like I keep on saying, whether exam or bereavement, we did give enough time from the day, which was a Friday when the assignments were delivered. We had enough time in which people could shoot, create, and perfect their work. And to come and give such mediocre stuff is unacceptable. And that is why the 5 of you are facing elimination. To the others that have not called out, apart from Zian and George, this week, the work that I've seen still needs polishing and is merely average. And like I'm saying, at Diamond Media, the bar is set so high that I'm not looking for average, because this is not an average organization. I want uniqueness, I want innovation and creativity. I'll say this again. From day one, Norma can do better, but she's giving below average work. Rose has so far given us her worst performance that we've seen in the show. And we'll have to eliminate with the 2 in absentia. Three of you have given me compelling arguments, but 2 have to go and will not be proceeding to the next round. You may take a deep breath and think carefully of the things that I've spoken about. The decisions that I have to make every week of sending either 1 or 2 of you home are not easy decisions. I see young people who are talented, who have aspirations and have dreams. But if you want to be one day somebody great and be part of this great family, I need to see that you yourself are hungry, that you yourself are willing to be great, are willing to be mentored, and will not give excuses willy-nilly. Unfortunately, I'll have to send Norma home in her absentia. That's the end of her journey on the Diamond TV Presenter Search for 2022. Musonda, unfortunately, the journey equally ends for you right now. I respect you. I respect the work you've done. I expected much better in this competition from you. This is not the end for you. I keep on saying that the greatest people have proven their worth in how they respond to failure. And failure should not be the end. But unfortunately, I'll have to send you away in this week. The road to the DPS for you ends right here. Thank you. Hope, I expect better next week. Mercy, you're walking on a tightrope. The same goes to Rose. She needs to take this competition seriously. We'll see you next week. Good luck and all the best.
I think that this week my performance wasn't what he was looking for, and he has said that he was expecting more from me. I think that the video that I gave him was actually okay, but he obviously didn't think so. So I do respect his opinion on that, because he has been in the industry and he knows exactly what makes good TV.